Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, as always. I love Prague, as always. I will be pretty short because, let's talk a little bit closer. Sorry for that. So I will be really short because most of the stuff what I wanted to, tell, it has been already told by Peter. So, what happened? NAB. We rolled out the news together with WizRT. Of course, I heard it from many places because it happened on the 1st of April. That's April's Fool's joke. Nope, it actually happened. We joined forces, and now it's one family with 3 legs: WizRT, Newtek, and NDI. What happened at the NAB and IBC? So we introduced 4.0 version of NDI. I have to remind you, we started in 2015 September with the first version, and we developed it the last 4 years, and it evolves, and we keep evolving it. What happened there? Significant changes in the speed and video quality. Every pixel has now have 16-bit per pixel support, and we introduced more input and output color space support, which is, honestly, I cannot even follow what we are supporting because there is so many inside of the protocol. NDI HX got an improvement that became the version 2 of NDI HX2. Why is it so cool? First of all, we are supporting 8 channels of audio now, so every device which will have this support for NDI HX2 will support up to 8 channels of audio. We are supporting hardware acceleration now, and the most important part, which is not even here, or that, oh yeah, sorry, that's here. NDI SDK now includes NDI HX version 2. What it means, earlier, if you had a device like a PTZ camera or a small spark converter, you needed to install an NDI HX driver. From now on, if the device supports HX2, you don't need it because it's part of the SDK, and we can get rid of the HX driver. Of course, for legacy products, we are still offering the 1.0 driver. It will be there, it will be available, but for the new devices, you won't need it anymore. There was also a huge change here, discovery, and I have to explain it a little bit, and I have to get a little bit of history lesson. When we introduced NDI in 2015, no one thought in the company that there will be people who are going to run not just hundreds, 800, 900 concurrent stream on the same network. And actually, we are having clients right now. We are having clients in Sweden, for example, Kanal 75. They are running 900 NDI stream on the same network. So when we designed NDI, we designed everything around MDNS. And MDNS was quite fun. It sends out a multicast message to everyone on the same subnet, and everyone answers. But if you have 900 sources on the network, it causes some problem, because if you plug in a new device and it sends out the same multicast message to everyone, every receiver, and everyone answers, that causes some issues, like there will be so much chatter on the network, it will affect your production. So that's why we came up with the Discovery Server idea. So from now on, Discovery Server is going to be the part of Access Manager with the 4.2 version of NDI, and you can point to a device that this device is going to know everyone on the network who is NDI capable, okay? So if you plan to build a large network, you don't need to use MDNS and automated discovery anymore. So that was one of the changes with 4.0. What else happened? And I need to revert back the time again a little bit, because when we introduced NDI, we started to use, or the original version of NDI till 3.0, we used TCP/IP as a transmission protocol. And everyone thought that, oh, but TCP/IP is slow. No, not anymore. If you think in modern networking hardware, if you think about high-frequency networks like stock trade markets and all that stuff, they are using mostly TCP. They have nothing to do with UDP. And, in these places, every millisecond counts. So TCP was a really, really good protocol, because we didn't have to deal with, for example, forward error correction, because the protocol itself covered it. But then with 3.0 or 3.5, we introduced the UDP transmission, because we got into the same issue like with MDNS. If you have hundreds of sources across your network, TCP/IP and the flowing confirmation packets from the receivers, it also creates some massive chatter on the network. But now we combine the two together because there are still advantages for TCP, and we had also another issue with the current devices if you had multiple links, for example. Because when you generate a source on a device, in the earlier versions of NDI, we said to the operating system that handle it. We gave you the stream, just handle it. And how Windows works, if you have multiple network or NICs on the system, what it will do as a default, okay, here is NIC 1, NIC 2, NIC 3. And the first stream goes to NIC 1, the second stream goes to NIC 2 or NIC 1, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, and so on. As long as you saturate that network adapter, it will stay there. And when you saturated that network adapter, we are jumping to the second one. But what happens if we imagine a complete network fabric? We have the NDI senders there, we have the receivers, these are independent switches across the network. And of course, everything is cross-connected because we are in the IP world. So if you have a single link and something happens there, like someone cuts the cable, pulls the plug, or there's just so much conjunction on that same switch, on that switch that the packets are not arriving on time, normally it's a big boo-boo, a big issue, because you will see frame drops across your network. And now with MTCP, what we are doing, and I will get back to the previous slide to explain it a little bit more, now we are basically balancing, and let me get back there so we will see it. Inside of the protocol, we are creating a network stack, and we are creating a TCP subflow. And if you have 3 NICs or 4 NICs, we will have 4 subflow. If we have 2, we will have 2. That means we balance inside of the protocol which package should go there. So what it means, for example, so one NDI stream, the first packet will go to the first subflow, but the second will go to this one. And we are handling it inside of the protocol. We are not giving it back to Windows again. And in this version, if you have something or some issues on your network, now we can find another route basically on the same network fabric and avoid to get into, for example, that port on the network switch. With the 4.0 version, we also introduced, or actually Unreal introduced, complete I/O support, not just output, now it's I/O, so they can ingest NDI streams as well in the Unreal engine. And Peter already touched base on this one. I'm going to be pretty fast, and probably if you will have some time, I want to show it in real-life practice how it works. But we introduced inside of the protocol, now we are handling unlimited sources of recordings. And the cool part that we are not changing it. So if you have a VBR-encoded DCT-NTI stream across your network, what we are doing, we are just grabbing the stream and we are writing it directly to file. It's a MOV container, but we are not changing it. There is no transcoding, there is nothing. So at the end of the day, it's going to be very CPU friendly because on the recorder machine or on the NAS, you don't need to do any kind of encoding. It's right there. We also support up to unlimited audio sources. I can say 20, 30, doesn't matter. It's the same thing like 4 years ago, if the two endpoints understand each other, so the receiver can record, 100 audio sources, and the encoder and the NDI encoder can encode 100 audio sources, it will be there. It's really up to the endpoints. Okay, and again, as always, aspect ratio, frame rate, and resolution independent, everything. And this is very, very interesting that we are actually recording the alpha channel. So in NDI, not like in the other big protocols, we are supporting transparency. Okay, so you don't have to carry a key and fill signal. It's one NDI signal, and we supporting alpha channel inside of it. And this is the we work together with Adobe to create a very efficient workflow. So you can record up to unlimited sources. It's really up to the bandwidth what you have available on your disk, like the disk speed or the RAID array speed, and the network speed what you have. And then you can record it directly, and these are growing files. These becomes growing files on the Adobe Premiere timeline, so you can work with them immediately when you started the recording. We also introduced a Spark Plus, a teeny tiny device, roughly this big, 4K capable, 30p HDMI input. It's perfect, for example, to convert NDI or HDMI feeds to NDI in up to 4K 30p. We premium access. I will skip this one because Petr already explained everything. 16:9 aspect ratios. Yes, yes. Oh, these are also interesting. So, if someone buys now a new VMC, which is our flagship model, runs here. If they buy it, it's going to have a much powerful hardware. So it's going to be an i9 platform instead of being an i7. And instead of having the RJ45 connectors, now it comes with two 10 gigabit SFP network card or network adapter. And we also introduced as a predecessor for the 410 Plus, because the 8000, the 460, the 410, all of these devices, which is really popular here in the Czech Republic, and there is a lot of users, these are end of sale. So we have the TC1 in the model line, and we have the 410 Plus as a replacement for the old 410. And I think that's my presentation altogether, and now we can get to two things, or three. The first one, if you have the time. No. No. Then I spoke to you.
No.
In the break time, I'm happy to show you a lot of things.
Máme zde pro vás spoustu zajímavých věcí, pravda. Já teda, dobře, 2 minutky ještě dám.
Okay. While we are talking, I also want to show you this, or while I'm still here. Alex, can you switch to? Can you see the? Not yet? Okay. So this is also a new addition. We used to have one version for Android and iOS, but this version is a new one. It's HX based, and actually this runs way more better, and it can output a 4K stream from your iOS capable device. So this is currently the new, I mean, try it, Jan, try it. I see you tried it, okay, thank you. Just the latency. So this is now a new software and costs roughly $20.
Tak jo, takže se ještě vnutil Zoltán s ukázkou nové NDI HX kamery. Já tady ještě mám jednu, poprosím kolegu, jestli se to povedlo, aby mě přepnul. Ano, výborně. Já jsem chtěl ještě ukázat něco vlastně k té síti, která tady je. Samozřejmě na iOS je spousta NDI aplikací, ale tím se teďka nebudu zdržovat. Jednou z nich je i NDI monitor, který funguje v reálném čase. Ale co jsem chtěl spíš ukázat, tak je to, jak tady máme vlastně připravenou síť, na které běžíme. Je postavená na 2 switchích, které vlastně vidíte zde, které můžu monitorovat i vzdáleně. A jsem schopen vlastně se podívat na ten konkrétní switch. Máme tady teda 2, jeden je tady za mnou, tohle pracoviště, a druhý je tady uprostřed v tom reku, je to propojený přes optiku. A já se můžu tady vlastně podívat na to samotné nastavení toho switche, kde vlastně vidím to, co se odehrává na těch jednotlivých portech. Můžu se vlastně podívat na ten konkrétní port, kolik tam teče megabitů, můžu se podívat, kolik mezi těma 2 switchy, protože jsou propojeny přes optiku, jak je tam datový tok. No, tak takhle. No, vidím, že asi mám spocené ruce, že ten mobil mě neposlouchá. Nebo je to od té doby, co mi vyměnili prasklé sklo, možná. Jo, zde vlastně vidíte, jako, že tady ty 2 switche mezi sebou posílají asi zhruba půl gigabitu. A můžu takhle ten switch prostě sledovat, vidím i jeho vytížení, jo, což je potom skvělý nástroj, že vy vlastně můžete vzdáleně, tak jako správce, sledovat to, co se u vás vlastně na té síti, na jednotlivých switchích odehrává. Jo, včetně vlastně i třeba takových věcí, jestli byly v té síti nějaké výpadky, tady vlastně kdy ten switch v posledních dnech byl vypojený, kdy nefungoval, anebo je to třeba až na úroveň, že se můžete podívat, no, nejde tady připojení, ale ještě se můžu podívat do záznamu, kde vlastně můžu oddemonstrovat nebo zkontrolovat si, co se na tom switchi stalo, kdy, v kolik hodin. Tady vlastně vidíte, v kolik hodin jsme kdy připojili jaké zařízení do té sítě. Takže to byla taková krátká ukázka, že toho času moc nemáme, že i ten management vlastně vaší sítě může být daleko zajímavější, zábavnější, a hlavně to můžete dělat kdekoliv vzdáleně. Takže nemusí to být ani ten IT technik vlastně přímo ve firmě, aby vám třeba řekl, máte vypadený port číslo 5, nebo v tom studiu jste něco prostě omylem rozpojili.